What's up, guys? Part-time Gamer Dad here, and today we are ranking every SummerSlam ever. Well, 1988 to 2020. We're missing 2021 and 2022, but I'll let you know my thoughts on those as well. But before we get into the video, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe down to the channel, and in the comments down below, let me know your favorite SummerSlam of all time. I'm going to rank these SummerSlams within each tier, and then I'm also going to try to keep them in order of where I think they land within each level. Never done a tier ranking before, so let's get into it.
All right, guys, as you can see, we have 1988 to 2020 down there of all the SummerSlams that have ever taken place. And then we're also going to talk about 2021 and 2022. Well, let's just get that out of the way. 2021, and over here I'm going to have just the SummerSlams that have taken place, kind of a reminder of some of the matches that have occurred, just kind of refresh my memory. I have an idea of some of the stuff that I love and stuff I remember, but when it comes to some of the stuff that's bad, I kind of push that away and forget about it, so I'll remind myself about how bad some of the stuff was. So in 2021, I know right off the bat that was Cena versus Reigns, and Brock Lesnar returned. I think that was also Becky Lynch beating Belair in like 30 seconds, 26 seconds. We had RK Bro winning the tag titles. We had Damian Priest winning the U.S. title. We had that awful Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie match. Usos beat the Mysterios. Edge beat Rollins. That was a pretty decent match. I would say, out of all of these, I would probably put SummerSlam 2021 solidly in probably that B category. It's verging on an A. It's a high B. I think some of the things that hold it back are the Becky Lynch winning in 30 seconds. McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal was a nothing match. Charlotte winning the Raw Women's Championship right after Nikki ASH had won it. And then the Lashley versus Goldberg match was quite honestly very disappointing. I think the rematch they had later was much better. And then Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie. There's just too many matches that didn't get it done for me. So we would have to put that one just as a high B, but it's got some really great stuff on there as well, which was SummerSlam 2022. The great last man standing match between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. In addition to that, we had the rematch between Bianca and Becky, which was amazing. I went to WrestleMania in 2022. That match was great there, but I feel like it was replicated, if not a little bit better, because Becky was already kind of starting her transition towards becoming a face. So that was a great match. Logan Paul defeated The Miz. Very great showing by him. Lashley beat Theory pretty quick for the U.S. title. Kind of a nothing match. Mysterios beat the Judgment Day, which I did not agree with at that time. And then McAfee beat Happy Corbin. It was okay. The Usos beat the Street Profits in an incredible match. And then Liv Morgan beat Ronda Rousey, kind of by fluke. And then, of course, we had Roman Reigns defeating Brock Lesnar. We also had the moment of Damage Control debuting. I would put that at a low A. I think that there's nothing particularly off-putting like there was the previous year, but still nothing that would help push it into the S tier. So, with all that being said, we start with 1988. 1988, we had the Bulldogs versus the Rougeaus. Time limit draw, 20 minutes. Bad News Brown defeated Ken Patera, one of the first WWE champions, or WWF at that time. Rick Rude defeated Junkyard Dog in 6 minutes by DQ. Powers of Pain defeated the Bolsheviks. And then Ultimate Warrior, of course, with the historic record-ending championship win of the IC belt. Dino Bravo beat Don Morocco. Demolition defeated the Hart Foundation. I think that it was retained. That was during their long reign. Big Boss Man defeated Coco Beware. Jake Roberts defeated Hercules. The Mega Powers defeated the Mega Bucks, which would have been Ted DiBiase and Andre the Giant. You know, I think I am going to add a row below that we're just going to call F. And I'm going to oh, hold on a second. That should not have happened. Let's change this. Hold on a second. This is F, and F will be We'll do a baby blue. Do baby blue there. Not that I'm putting 1988 in there. We'll talk though. I'm going to put 88 in a C. It's okay. Nothing particularly to write home about. The biggest attraction is, of course, the main event. It was the first one. It was the Mega Bucks and the Mega Powers, and that was kind of on the road to Hogan and Savage parting ways. So a very interesting concept, and I think a concept that got better over time. But that first one was not a good one. Looking at 89, we had Brainbusters, so Arn and Tully defeated the Hart Foundation. Dusty Rhodes, Dusty Daddy, defeated the Honky Tonk Man. Mr. Perfect defeated Red Rooster in 3 minutes. Poor Terry. Rick Martel and the Fabulous Rougeaus beat Tito Santana and the Rockers in a 15-minute 6-man tag match. It's great. Ultimate Warrior defeated Rick Rude to win the Intercontinental Championship. I love the feud between Rick Rude and Ultimate Warrior. I was 6 months old when this first match happened, or this particular match happened. And I went back and watched it as I got older, and it's a great feud for any generation. Duggan and Demolition actually beat Andre and the Twin Towers, which is Akeem and Big Boss Man. Greg Valentine defeated Hercules. DiBiase beat Snuka by countout. And, of course, Hogan and Beefcake defeated Randy Savage and Zeus from the movie No Holds Barred. I think I would put this SummerSlam, I put it on equal footing with 88. There's a couple good matches. To me, the standout is Warrior and Rude. The main event tag match is okay. Nothing else really to write home about outside of poor Red Rooster getting decimated by Mr. Perfect. Now we get into 1990, where Power and Glory defeated the Rockers. It wasn't that bad, guys. Texas Tornado defeated Mr. Perfect, which was a replacement match. I believe he replaced for Brutus Beefcake. Won the IC belt, big moment. Queen Sherry defeated Sapphire by forfeit. Warlord defeated Tito. Hart Foundation defeated Demolition in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the tag titles. Jake Roberts defeated Bad News Brown. Duggan and Volkov, they defeat the Orient Express. And then, of course, Randy Savage defeated Dusty Rhodes. It was like a 2-minute match. It was a nothing match. Hogan defeated Earthquake. And Warrior defeated Rick Rude. And this was kind of the culmination. So you had the match happen at SummerSlam. If I remember correctly, it started at the Mania before. So when Savage lost to Hogan, Warrior lost to Rude, if I remember correctly. So then the year before, Warrior beat Rude, took it to Mania, beat Hogan for the WWF title, and then vacated the IC belt, and then defended it, the WWF title against Rick Rude. I hate to kind of put them all in the similar leg. I would actually maybe put this one in a B, because when we look at some of these matches like Hart Foundation Demolition, even just looking at a match like Hogan and Earthquake was kind of fun. Texas Tornado and Mr. Perfect, like none of these matches went terribly long, but I think they were more fun, more memorable, with substance. I mean, you could say that Warrior defeating Honky was memorable, and it was, but it had no substance to it beyond it was a big title change. So first one in the B category. Let's go to 1991. And in 91, this is actually this is a very interesting one, a very near and dear one to my heart. The big stuff here, of course, Brett beating Mr. Perfect for the IC belt. We also had Big Boss Man defeating the Mountie in that Jailhouse match. The Legion of Doom defeated the Nasty Boys for the tag team titles. Hogan and Warrior defeating the Triangle of Terror. And then the main event, the wedding between Macho and Elizabeth. This, for me, goes into A. Now, I want to be clear that 2-on-3 handicap match, Hogan, Warrior, and the Triangle of Terror not great, but so many things are so good, so memorable, so iconic on the 91 show. And in addition to all that, you have the reception for the wedding with Jake the Snake Roberts. So easily to me, that's our first A tier SummerSlam there. Going into 1992, you guys are going to be mad. You're going to hate me. To me, in probably what is the biggest, most overhyped match to me in SummerSlam main event history, which is Bulldog and Brett. Amazing match. Everybody puts this as like the SummerSlam match. I could think of 5 off the top of my head that I would put above this match. However, this also has Taker versus Kamala, which is not good. This does have Warrior versus Savage for the belt, which is good. Natural Disasters and the Beverly Brothers, okay. It has Legion of Doom defeating Money Inc. And it has the atmosphere of Wembley. So it's good. And you have 2 standout matches on there. I would put SummerSlam 92. I would put it at the top of B. I know, but hear me out. That match, Bulldog was gone for that match. Brett, and I'm not a big Brett fan, but give him his flowers. He did his due diligence on there with really holding himself and Davey accountable for that match, walking them through it, getting them through. The fact that Warrior beat Savage by countout and just there was a lot of stuff on the card that was okay. Nothing was glaringly offensive, but well, maybe Nails and Virgil. But besides that, it's good. It's good. It's a memorable SummerSlam. I would only put it kind of in that mid B tier though. Next is 93, and in 93, I think this is where, well, we're getting close to having some of these that are going to be a little rough. You have the Steiner Bros. They defeated Heavily Bodied. I think Razor beat DiBiase here. IRS beat 123 Kid. Bret Hart beat Doink. Lawler beat Brett. Ludwig Borga beat Marty. Taker beat Giant Gonzalez. This is where Luger should have won the belt. To me, it's either D or F. This is an F. SummerSlam 93 is an F. And here's why. Nothing in it. Nothing in the 93 SummerSlam is memorable outside of the fact that Luger should have won the belt. And the fact that it was a should have, it makes it an unforgivable SummerSlam to me. So that's the first truly awful SummerSlam. The next year we had, of course, in 94, the infamous Undertaker versus Undertaker matchup. But we did have the amazing Steel Cage Brett and Owen match. This is also where I think this is where Razor beat Diesel for the IC belt. Yeah. We had Alundra Blaze versus Bull Nakano. A tag match of the Head Shrinkers versus Bam Bam and IRS. This is Tatanka beat Luger. I think... Is this where Luger turned? I think Luger turned on... I'm sorry, Tatanka turned on Luger. Is that this match? Yeah. So that's memorable. But I mean, guys, it has one really good match, and it has a second serviceable match, like pretty decent with Razor and Diesel. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of C. Strictly because that Brett and Owen match was fire, dude. That was a 5-star all the way. Okay, probably have another F here. This is SummerSlam 95. The only redeemable match for me from this one is Shawn Razor 2. And I grew up a Shawn kid. I loved Shawn, so the fact that he beat Razor in this rematch of the ladder match for the IC belt was great. We had Hakushi and 123 Kid wasn't bad. This is where Barry Horowitz beat Skip. It was like he broke the undefeated streak, which was awesome. Taker beat Kama. Bret Hart beat Isaac Yankem DDS by DQ. And then arguably the I think we could all argue about the Brett Davey match being the best. Maybe, probably not for me, but I think we would all agree that Diesel versus King Mabel, the worst SummerSlam main event of all time. Shawn and Razor is what's going to keep it in D. For me, it's close to being an F, but Shawn and Razor is a one heck of a match and something that barely keeps it out of the F territory. Then we get into 96. We start getting into some really solid matches in here and really solid pay-per-views, or PLEs as they're called now. Stone Cold, did you know this? Stone Cold defeated Yoko on the free-for-all, which I think is always a fun little piece. Owen beat Savio. Smoking Guns won a 4-way for the tag belts. I think they were the champs going in. Psycho Sid beat British Bulldog. Goldust defeated Mark Merrow. The King beat the Snake. Mankind defeated Undertaker in the Boiler Room Brawl. HBK defeated Vader in a controversial match because that was the match where he got mad at Vader halfway through. Won with the moonsault. That goes to B for me. It's a solid SummerSlam for me. I think that's one of my first SummerSlams I actually remember like watching and getting excited about. But then we start getting into the SummerSlams that I actually remember. Mankind defeated Triple H in a steel cage match. Holy cow. An incredible match. I love the Mankind Triple H feud all the way from the 90s through the 2000s. Amazing. Even his feud with Evolution, which I think kind of carried on from like Triple H with Randy Orton, so great. Goldust defeated Brian Pillman, but he had to wear a dress because he lost. So, I think a big one here was Bulldog beat Shamrock by DQ to retain the European title. Los Bariquas defeated DOA. If you watch, oh my gosh, what's it called? Wrestling Bios, Reliving the War. Biker Michael Likers. Michael Likers. How do you do that every week, dude? That's very impressive. Stone Cold defeated Owen in a very scary IC title match by roll-up after he broke his neck. Brett defeated Undertaker. Couple things on here not great. The stuff that was great. The stuff that was great was awesome. A tier. In a lot of ways for me, started the Attitude Era as we know it. With some of the things that happened there. And some of the things that happened in this match really influenced what moved forward to really have some defining moments of the Attitude Era. 98 is one of my favorites, actually. A great, almost kind of coming out match for Val Venus versus D'Lo Brown for the European title. The Oddities versus Kind Time. And quite honestly, a little fun handicap match. X-Pac defeated Jeff Jarrett in that hair versus hair match. Edge as the surprise tag team partner, which is really random, with Sable defeating Jacqueline and Mark Merrow. Shamrock defeated Owen Hart in the Lions Den match, which was great. He had him in that, I think it was a Dragon Sleeper, and he went off the cage, backflipped into it, and eventually got him into the ankle lock. New Age Outlaws defeated Mankind in a handicap match for the it was Falls Count Anywhere, I think, for the tag team titles. Triple H defeated The Rock in an IC title ladder match, best match on the show. Stone Cold defeated Undertaker in a good match, not what it could have been. There was something happened during the match. I think Stone Cold got hurt, didn't quite make it there. But you know what? For me, that's an S tier. 98 was such a good SummerSlam. It was fun. It was just fun, and the energy of being in MSG is really great. The next year we have APA, or at the time the Acolytes versus the Holly Cousins to become number one contenders. Then of course we also had Jarrett defeating D'Lo Brown to merge the titles, the IC and European. Was he still with Mark Henry? Is this where Mark Henry turned on him? Let me know down in the comments. It was. I think this is where Mark Henry might have turned on D'Lo. Al Snow won the hardcore belt from Big Boss Man. Shamrock beat Blackman in Alliances and Weapons match. I always was more of a Ken Shamrock fan, so I was happy about that. And then, of course, Test defeated Shane McMahon in a Greenwich Street fight. So if he won, he got to continue to date Shane's sister, Stephanie, who was now married to Triple H, part of a storyline. Unholy Alliance, Big Show and Undertaker defeated Kane and X-Pac to win the tag belts. The Rock defeated Billy Gunn in a Kiss My You-Know-What match. And then Mankind defeated Stone Cold and Triple H, which was just crazy. He won the WWF title. I would say this is between B and A. I don't really find much on here offensive outside of maybe Ivory versus Tori. So I will give it... I'll give it the bottom of A. I'm feeling generous today. SummerSlam 99. Really, really solid SummerSlam. Okay, now we start getting into a string of SummerSlams that are incredible. This is 2000. Right to Censor. Okay, well, I say that, but then we start off with Right to Censor defeating Too Cool. X-Pac defeating Road Dogg. Eddie and Chyna defeated Trish and Val Venus to win the IC belt. I think this is where Chyna won because she pinned Trish. Jerry Lawler defeated Taz. Steve Blackman defeated Shane McMahon with that amazing moment where Shane falls off of the scaffolding, the pillar, the Titantron. Benoit defeated Jericho 2 out of 3 falls. This is first TLC. This is Kane Taker in a no contest, which is weird, and then the Rock defeating Triple H and Kurt Angle. This to me, S tier. I don't feel like I have to explain too much why. If you haven't seen it, go watch this for TLC 1 and the Triple Threat main event. Incredible. Okay, now we're in the Evasion storyline, 2001, and this is a really good show. Edge defeated Lance Storm to win the IC belt. The Dudley Boys and Test, so the Dudleys have switched to the Alliance. They defeated APA and their little brother Spike. The unification match, is this the unification match for the Cruiserweight Light Heavyweight? Yep. X-Pac beat Jiri. Jericho beat Rhino. RVD beat Jeff Hardy in a banger of a ladder match for the Hardcore belt. There was an atrocious match of the Brothers of Destruction defeating DDP and Chris Kanyon. Angle beat Austin by DQ in a crazy awesome match where Austin just keep beating up referees. He lost, but he retained the WWF title. Rock beat Booker T for the WCW title. For me, that'll go at the top of A for now. I think what really holds it back is that tag team cage match. The payoff of Taker DDP was not good. It really did hurt the show, and it really hurt DDP quite a bit. For me, the next SummerSlam for me is I'll just tell you right now, it's my favorite. Angle Mysterio, what a way to start a SummerSlam. Flair Jericho, you have Edge Eddie, you have the Un-Americans versus Booker T Goldust, you have RVD and Benoit for the IC belt. Of course, you have a match for me that's arguably better than the Davey and Bret Hart match. You have HBK and Triple H in that unsanctioned match. You have Undertaker beating Test, which isn't an incredible match, but it's a decent match. And then you have passing of the torch, Rock and Brock. For me, it is no question that this SummerSlam is the premier elite SummerSlam, and I won't hear you otherwise. Let's see, 2003. 2003 had an incredible title match. It was between Angle and Lesnar. I remember that, and I love Kurt Angle. One of my top 5 of all time, so I was really happy when he made Brock tap out. This is also, I believe, the second Elimination Chamber match of all time. A decent match, great lineup, horrible ending. Kane, who just unmasked, beating RVD. Eddie won a 4-way for the U.S. belt. And then, of course, we had Shane and Bischoff. I think that's a top of B. A few things on there, not so great, but other than that, really solid SummerSlam. And then, obviously, we have last year, So 2004 is one that I think we just don't talk about a lot because of Chris Benoit. But I think it's important to highlight that that main event was really decent. Randy Orton over Benoit. That's a 4-star match to me. So great closer. I think some of the other things that happened inside the show, though, a little rough. And a lot of it just had to do with how short the matches were, honestly. Like Cena beating Booker T in 6 minutes for the U.S. belt. Kane defeating Matt Hardy in a till death to his part match in 6 minutes. There's a great opener, 6-man tag. I can't believe I forgot about this. Dudley's defeating Ray, Billy, and so Rey Mysterio, Billy Kidman, and Paul London. Awesome way to start the show. A triple threat of Edge, Batista, and Jericho. That was okay. That was for the IC belt. Angle beating Eddie in by submission. That was good. Triple H defeats Eugene was laughable. And there was no reason that JBL and Taker had to go, 18 minutes for a DQ? That main event was really good. Eddie and Angle was really good. I'm going to put it... Would I put it above Wembley? I would probably put it just below Wembley. Overall, though, serviceable. I think it's kind of a standard of mid-2000s. Like, you think about mid-2000s, early to mid-2000s SummerSlams. That's a great example of one. Then we go to 2005. So from closing of the show the previous year to this year, Benoit walks in, makes Orlando Jordan tap out in 25 seconds for the U.S. title, I think. Edge defeats Matt Hardy in 5 minutes. I think that was by ref stoppage or something. It was okay. Then the ladder match for custody of Dominic. I think of the longest match on the show, maybe. Ray beat Eddie. Angle beat Eugene. Orton beat Taker. That's probably my favorite match on the show. Cena beat Jericho. That wasn't bad. Batista beat JBL in No Holds Barred in 9 minutes. Hogan beat Michaels. I would say this is probably a C SummerSlam. Besides Ray and Eddie and Orton Taker, I don't know if there's anything really, really good about this. Cena Jericho's okay. Hogan Michaels is just a funny match to watch, but it's not great. Yeah, that's middle of the pack. But if you notice, SummerSlam historically, pretty solid pay-per-view so far. So just in its history. And this video is probably already 15, 20 minutes. So let's pick up the pace a little bit. 2006, we're just going to start making decisions really fast. We're not going to talk through every single match. This is ECW times. Oh, Lord. Okay, Chavo beat Ray. I remember that. There was a Big Show once. Oh, Hogan and Orton. Okay. For that alone. So I think this is where Edge beat Cena. We had the DX McMahon thing. For that alone. Actually, not even for that alone. There's so many things here that are not great. Flair, Foley was okay. For that alone, I'm going to put... I'm going to put 06 in D. You may disagree with me on it, but I feel like the fact that a world title match ended at a DQ, the tag match was way overbooked for a 13-minute match. Hogan defeating Orton in his last ever match. The ECW Extreme Rules match between Big Show and Sabu was not good. I think it's kind of a rough rewatch. And if I remember correctly, I think the next year was kind of as well. I think the only good thing about this one, if I remember correctly, was Cena and Orton closed out the show. And that was a pretty good match. But yeah, again, Batista defeating Great Khali by DQ. What's going on with the world title? Triple H came back, beat King Booker. CM Punk lost to John Morrison. They had a battle royal to determine the number one contender for the women's title. Ray and Chavo ran it back. Kane, Finley, triple threat for the IC belt. Again, another. I would say put this. I would probably put that above 06, honestly. Not great, but at least that main event was solid. So we'll give it its flowers there. 08, if I remember correctly, 08 was a better show. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hell in a Cell. Edge Taker, chokeslam to Hell in Hell in a Cell. That alone's going to get it above the last two. Batista beat Cena in a dream match come to life. Powerbomb from the corners. He went for the leg drop, and he injured him there. Right? That was the injury. Crazy. Punk beat JBL, and then MVP Jeff Hardy. Okay. I do think that this is probably a C. Probably a C tier SummerSlam. But that Hell in a Cell match, what a way to close out the show. Great return for The Undertaker. 09, I remember watching 09 at a bar. I was 20. Wasn't drinking, but I saw it with some friends at a bar, and I remember that was a heck of a time. It was a lot of fun. We were watching the Orton-Cena match and getting annoyed that it kept like ending and then restarting. Jericho and Big Show beat Crime Time, I think, and that was okay. This was where Ray and Dolph wrestled for the IC belt. That was a great match. Kane and Khali was not a great match. You got 10 minutes, guys. That's rough. DX reunited and beat Legacy. That was really good. Regal lost to Christian in like 10 seconds. Orton, yeah, that overbooked thing. But then Punk and Hardy in the TLC match. I will go ahead and I'm gonna put SummerSlam 09 at the top of B. TLC was incredible. Ray Ziggler was incredible. DX Legacy was incredible. Like, absolutely a quality SummerSlam right before we got into the 2010s. Okay, so this is 2010. And 2010 is infamous for the 7-on-7 tag team match between Team WWE and Team Nexus. If Team Nexus had won, this pay-per-view could have been a B. Could it have been? Could have been a C. Am I going to do it? Yeah, I'm going to put SummerSlam 2010 in D. That Team WWE beating Nexus ruined their momentum. The only match, I feel like Orton and Sheamus was all right, but it ended in DQ. Kane beat Ray. That was okay. Everything else was awful. So I'm gonna stick with that. 2010 is a D. Next, 2011. To me, this is in a lot of ways, this is the dark ages of a lot of stuff. The only, this is Summer of Punk, right? So the 6-man tag start the show was meh. Henry and Sheamus was eh. The women's title was okay. Orton beating Christian was the best match on the show. Punk beating Cena was good, but then Alberto Del Rio went it right back. I put this low B. So then we move into 2012. 2012 that's year Lesnar came back, so that's him wrestling Triple H. Broke his arm. Is that Triple H's only other SummerSlam main event? He has 3, right? Elimination Chamber, Triple Threat match, and then that was the last one. He reffed in the next year, but Punk winning the Triple Threat for the title, that was kind of fun. But nothing else really of note. No, that's not true. Jericho came back to beat Ziggler, and the Daniel Bryan defeated Kane. Team Hell No was created. Those are both good. But you know what? Overall, it was a very okay show. Do I think it was as good as 2011's? No. I do think it was better than the 08. I would put it in. I'm trying to keep these from getting into double road. And if you look, it's kind of got this nice almost symmetrical arc to it. So we're not far off. So 2012, Congratulations for helping us starting to round out some stuff. Then Shield debuted in Survivor Series, so now we're in 2013. 2013, we're in the midst of. This is leading up to WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan defeated John Cena to win his first WWE title. Is it Bray Wyatt's debut? Lesnar beating Punk. This is a pretty decent SummerSlam, but does it have enough? Cody Rhodes beat Sandow? I think it does. Yeah, I think it actually does have quite a bit. It has enough on there. I would put this on a B. Is this 09B? Or is this... Where does this land? I think... Is it better than 04? Yes. Is it better than 92? Yes. I'm going to put it there. Okay. And then the next one is 2014. Now, 2014 for me, actually, it's okay. I think really it's held together by the Shield. Seth and Dean, great match. Ziggler, Miz, great match. We also have Roman Orton, great match. And then Lesnar, Cena, not a great match, but fun to watch. I would put this one. I put it in low A, guys. It's pretty good. I mean, Rusev beat Swagger in a flag match. That's okay. Paige won the title from AJ Lee. That's good. Bray beat Jericho. The only thing that's kind of not great is Stephanie beating Brie. But everything else was pretty good. So I would give it a low A. Now, this is where I start having a hard time. To me, this is where we start getting into a little bit of inconsistency. 2015, I'm looking through it. Is there a single thing that's good on this show? Yes, there is one thing, and that is Seth and Cena. Everything else, for me, I don't think even Taker and Brock, I'm sorry, it's not a good SummerSlam. The Fatal 4-Way tag is okay, but just about everything else sucks. And like the triple threat for the IC belt, garbage. The fact that Ziggler and Rusev was like a double countout, trash. The dude had just lost the U.S. belt at WrestleMania, and he's already getting like D-pushed like crazy. So that, to me, it's an F. Not great. The next year, AJ Styles comes on the scene. Oh man, this one. Okay, so this SummerSlam, actually, this is where they started to turn around. You have The Miz beat Apollo Crews, not great. Charlotte defeated Sasha, pretty decent. You had Jericho and Owens teaming up. This is kind of the start of that friendship, beating Enzo and Cass. But what really stood out was AJ Styles defeating John Cena. You also had Finn Balor becoming the first ever Universal Champion, and Brock Lesnar defeating Randy Orton. Yes, it was awful how it happened, but it's memorable. To me, is it an A? Because that Styles Cena's match, man, it's impactful. It's an important match in the history of AJ Styles and John Cena to me, because it led to Royal Rumble 2017. Is it a better SummerSlam than 2014? Yeah, it is. It's a better SummerSlam than 2014. With Styles and Cena alone, it absolutely is. Maybe I'm being a little too nice, but I loved 2016. 2016 was such a great year, man. Okay, now 2017, we're in the midst of Brock Lesnar's epic Universal title reign. It just seemingly would never end. Nothing else on this show was particularly great. I mean, Demon Finn beat Bray. That's good. We had Shield Light. We had Ambrose and Rollins win the tag team belts. AJ Kevin were going through that weird I'm gonna win the U.S. title. No, okay, now you're gonna win it. I think Shane McMahon was the guest ref. Jinder's title reign. The Fatal 4-Way was the only memorable thing, and that Fatal 4-Way was a really good match. Oh, this is also the pre-show match between the Usos and the New Day. An incredible match where they actually won the belts. The Usos won the belts. I think that'll keep it out of D territory. Let's throw it there. So that's solid. I think that's very... Yeah. I'll go with that. That's solid. The next year is 2018. We're almost done with the ones that we had. And you got to remember, we had 2022 in A, and then we had 2021 in B as well from the beginning of the video, which I know was like 40 minutes ago, but we're almost there. 2018, this is Roman finally conquering Brock Lesnar in like 6 minutes. Ronda Rousey winning the title from Alexa Bliss in 4 minutes. Demon Finn beating Baron Corbin in 2 minutes. Samoa Joe defeating AJ Styles by DQ for the WWE title. He doesn't even win it. This is the heel turn for Becky, right? That's good. Braun defeated Kevin Owens. Seth beat Dolph for the IC belt. This is an okay one, but that is really what it is at best. It is an okay SummerSlam. It's very middle of okay. Very middle of okay. Nothing. It's not good, so it can't go into B. But let's see what 2019 is. 2019, for me, personally, it's interesting because I feel like they were trying to do... There's so many new things happening, and I think the most memorable thing for me was The Fiend. And that really was impactful, but Goldberg beating Dolph was a laugh. AJ defeated Ricochet. Solid. Bayley and Ember Moon. Charlotte, Trish, Kofi Orton. There's a lot of... Seth beat Brock. There's a lot of okay things here. It's either a B or a C. I don't think that anything in here was... nothing in here was great. So it's a C. Okay. And then 2020. Pandemic Slam. This is where Roman came back. He and that was at the end of a really rough match between Fiend and Braun. Drew McIntyre beat Orton to keep the belt. Seth beat Dominic in his debut. Mandy and Sonya was okay. Was there anything else that good? Was any of it good? Or was it all just serviceable? Was it all respectable to the point where you didn't hate it, but it wasn't great? 2020. I'll put 2010 ahead of 2020. So there you go. There's my SummerSlam tier ranking. And then obviously we have 2022 up here, 2021 down here. So what are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you're still here. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll do some more of these tier rankings if you like them. But we're also going to do some quiz videos, so make sure you let me know what you like. And I'll see you very soon.